So online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
No one's ever explained it this way. That's what we hear at Trade-Offs when you finally see how today's crop insurance tools work with your grain marketing plan, not in isolation. With hail and wind rates increasing and margins already tight, it's time to challenge how you look at crop insurance. It's time to ask better questions. It's time to call Trade-Offs. Call us at 402-858-7501 or visit gotradeos.com to start the conversation. That's GOTREDAS.com. Trade-Offs, ingrained in your success. No, seriously, give us a call.
This is Jordy Ball for Anderson Ford. For years, Anderson has relied on an exceptional customer experience. But just this once, they're going to rely on a really great pitch.
Right now, lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for $199 per month.
Experience better at Anderson Ford.
Stock number 100755. Previous service loaner. $199 per month. Lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 6,800 due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26. See dealer for details.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky, I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Fans, are you craving the ultimate game day experience? Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill has your front row seat to all the action. Dive into delicious wings, juicy burgers, and ice-cold drinks, all served up with TVs covering every inch of the wall, so you'll never miss a play. Rally your crew, cheer on your team, and take advantage of game night specials every week. Stop in for a Nebraska basketball game with a party of 4 or more and receive a free pitcher of beer. Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill, right by the Lincoln Airport at 3111 Northwest 12th Street.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now, with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in, episode number 2 of the Husker Diamond Report. Nick Whyman here at 1040 O Street in the capital city, back in snowy Lincoln, Nebraska. It is sunny out. Don't let it fool you, though. It is still pretty chilly out there, as I am still not used to it. As putting out the shorts on Monday and Tuesday and bring back out the heavy coat and the pants come Thursday as the snowstorm went through here in Lincoln and all across the area. I don't know how many inches we got, but I'm not a weatherman and probably never going to be. But it was interesting. But welcome in 90.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. This is the Husker Diamond Report with Nick Whyman and Tristan Gomes. Tristan Gomes out and about right now, so it'll be Nick Whyman rocking with you for the next hour. Obviously, there is a basketball game going on just down the road at Pinnacle Bank Arena, Nebraska and Penn State. But as that game's tipping off, we will focus on Husker baseball and Husker softball as they have had quite the starts to their seasons, respectively. Not only baseball hitting the road and starting the season with 3 wins out in Arizona, 3 out of their 4 games. Then last night playing a ranked opponent in the Louisville Cardinals. We'll get into a little bit of that one as well before they play Kansas State tonight and then wrap up the weekend with one more game against Florida State in the second meeting between those teams all time. Crazy. That's only the second time the Seminoles and the Huskers have battled on the diamond. Will it be the only other time is back in the early 2000s they played in the Dairy Queen Classic at the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Crazy. You would have think those teams would have ran into each other at least a couple more times, just regionals and early season games and whatnot. No, only second time all time between the Seminoles and the Huskers will be tomorrow. Along with that, Nebraska softball has went to San Antonio, beat some teams there that were pretty solid in Washington, Texas. Then they go east in the United States and play in the Clearwater Shriners. Beat Texas Tech, another ranked team, beat LSU, beat Central Florida. Dropped some close ones to Georgia and Tennessee, but battle-tested is the group as a whole. But this week they go west. They're going there in the Mary Nutter Classic in Cathedral City, California, as they won 2 ball games yesterday. They have one later tonight as well before closing out the weekend with 2 more on Sunday. And both those home openers are coming quick. Early March, Nebraska baseball, Nebraska softball will be at home. Before we know it, it's crazy to think. You look outside right now. There are people walking around with jackets on. I mean, fell over there, shorts on, but still, it's still chilly out there. Snow on the ground. Crazy to think that baseball and softball season's here in full swing. No pun intended. But we're basically almost there to home opener for Nebraska softball at Bolden Stadium and Nebraska baseball at Haymarket Park. If you'd like to join the conversation here, it's just you and me here for the next hour. The rest of the schedule, if we want to run it down real quick before we dive into baseball, we'll start baseball, go to softball, and wrap it up later at the end of the hour. Before we get out of there, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Allo Channel 9. So if you're watching, feel free to comment. We can talk about anything regarding the Husker baseball, Husker softball team. I know a lot of you are watching basketball, but show goes on. As the ticket, we'll have this from 1 to 2, chopping up with Chubbs from 2 to 3, and then 3 until 4. We will have the post game for Nebraska basketball as they are taking on Penn State as we speak. Tip-off just happened at Pinnacle Bank Arena. But moving on to baseball, Nebraska baseball, 3-1 start the season. One of their best starts they've had in recent memory. There's been some games where they have slipped up from time to time in recent history in the Will Bolt era. Nebraska playing in Arlington, Texas at Globe Life Field, the home of the Texas Rangers. Really new ballpark. Relatively new. I mean, opened in 2020, about 5 or 6 years it's been open. 2026, yeah, that sounds about right. They played yesterday on the 20th against number 15 Louisville. Louisville entered in with 3 wins and 1 loss as well, as Nebraska was also 3-1. So Nebraska getting a crack at a ranked opponent. Nebraska finished the first weekend with wins over UConn, Northeastern, and Grand Canyon. Last time we talked, Nebraska was 2-0 with those 2 wins, and then ended up winning the third one over Grand Canyon. And then they dropped their first game of the year, an 11-6 ball game to the Stanford Cardinal. A solid baseball program, regardless of conference they're in, the Pac-10, the Pac-12, the ACC. Always been a solid team. Colin Novacek kind of got roughed up in that one in the start for the Huskers, and that kind of did them in. Nebraska made a nice little comeback, but fell short as the Cardinal handed Nebraska their first loss of the season. So Nebraska had a lead yesterday. Game was on Flow Baseball, played at 3 o'clock yesterday in Arlington. Nebraska had a 2-0 lead through 5 innings, but 4 unanswered runs in the 6th and the 7th innings for the Cardinal led Louisville to a 4-2 win over the Huskers in that afternoon game at Globe Life Field. So Nebraska had 2 runs on 8 hits and an error. Louisville totaled 4 runs, 8 hits, and an error as well. So very evenly, Nebraska at the time looked like they were going to duke it out and win that game. They had a 2-0 lead through 5 innings, shutting down a Louisville team who's been to Omaha recently. They've been the top of the ACC conference. They've had MLB players like Henry Davis, who's now playing for the Pirates, catching for Paul Skeens. They've had a number of guys go through that program and have been MLB caliber players. And this is a no different Louisville team. Louisville ranked number 15 entering the game. Nebraska got up early and just could not push across any runs after that 5th inning. Nebraska scores first. Colt Kitchens singled in the middle to drive in 1 run that put them on the board. It was a pretty close first 2 innings. Louisville left some runners on base. Nebraska got out of some jams. Ty Horn made his second start of the year, second Friday start as well. It seems like he'll be the Friday night pitcher going forward. We'll get into his line. We'll get into the pitching from this game against the Cardinals in a second. But look at the bats. So Colt Kitchens, Southern Indiana transfer, kind of been a pretty big get for Nebraska so far. He got Nebraska on the board with a single that drove in Joshua Overbeck, make it 1-0 Nebraska. Then Dylan Carey hit a home run to right field in a major league ballpark. That's quite the memory you will have as a college baseball player. A lot of these tournaments are being played across major league ballparks, spring training ballparks, and whatnot. Dylan Carey home run puts Nebraska up 2-0 on Louisville. At this point, Nebraska was looking to just, there was a low-scoring game throughout. Nebraska had the opportunities early. That's how baseball works. You got to rise to the occasion, and sometimes you leave runners on, and you got to worry about the next thing. So Nebraska got those 2 runs early from Carey and Kitchens. Reached on a fielder's choice. Louisville in the 6th innings when runs started coming for the Cardinals. Reached on a fielder's choice, which then advanced to runner second on a throwing error, and then runner advanced to third and a runner score. So that one error Nebraska made was kind of detrimental because that gave up a run and advanced a runner to third. So control what you control, move on. Next pitch. 2-1 at that point. The error they made them pay double into right field by Louisville, drove in both runs, which put the Cardinals up 3-2 at that point. So Nebraska then on the reels, then momentum shifts to the Louisville dugout. Ty Horn exits. Before all this happened, Ty Horn went 5 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts on 80 pitches. However, Caleb Clark came in, just could not get out of the inning, only got 1 out. And that is when Louisville jumped out to the opportunity. Louisville then in the 7th inning added one of the home run from Davis, which scored him in a solo shot. And just like that, Louisville led 4-2 to give the Cardinals the lead. And Nebraska couldn't push across a run after that. Nebraska scored runs, like I said, in the 3rd and the 5th inning, blanked in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Both teams, same hits. I mean, it wasn't like Nebraska was outplayed. It was just those middle innings, 6th and 7th inning, got away from the Huskers. And Louisville was able to swing the bat, and an error helped as well. Double to right, and then that home run were able to put the punctuation mark on that one as Nebraska fell down to a 4-2 and dropped their 2nd game of the season. So look at the pitching stats. I mean, Nebraska did have, usually hits, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in the lineup get hits. It just, they weren't able to drive in guys. Louisville left 7 guys on base. Nebraska left 10 on base. So the opportunities were there, just weren't able to push them across. Pitching numbers, Ty Horn, 5 innings, like I mentioned, five hits allowed, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Pretty efficient. I mean, faced 18 batters. It was 21 batters, excuse me. I mean, not bad. Walks are down, only 2 of them. He's gonna be the Friday night guy going forward, and you're gonna need a lot out of him. And he ran into some trouble after 5 innings. That 6th inning kind of got to him. They pull him, and then Caleb Clark comes in, gets the loss in this one. It only got 1 out recorded, gave up a hit, 2 runs, none of them earned, a walk, no strikeouts, and faced 4 batters and threw 19 pitches and just could not get out of that inning. Then Ryan Harrihill, Elkhorn North graduate, state champion Ryan Harrihill, won a state title, Class B state title with the Wolves. They put him in there. 2 2/3 from him, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 2 strikeouts to try to limit the damage and get out of that inning and try to keep Nebraska within reach, which he did. Nebraska, Only 2 of the 4 runs were earned. The error was costly, and then Louisville made them pay. From that point on, Nebraska could not get across the run, fall 4-2 to Louisville. I mean, not a bad loss. Louisville is a good team. Louisville is going to be one of the top teams in the ACC conference come the end of the regular season in May and come postseason in June. They are in line before season starts. Top 16 teams host. They have a really good chance to host a regional. This is a team that Nebraska could see potentially if postseason comes down, if you put them in a regional. This is a game where you could see a postseason preview right here. Because Louisville is going to be good. They have been good for years. They have been a tough team. They have been in the top 25. They're going to be a tough out. And they were last year. They gave Nebraska some fits. In the game, Will Jeske had a double. Jet Buck, Joshua Overbeck, Cole Kitchens, and Max Biebenbeck also tallied hits in that one. So it's not like Nebraska was overmatched, I would say. It was just Louisville was able to rise to the occasion. 2-out home run in the 7th inning. You get the first 2 outs of the inning, and then hit a solo home run. And then Nebraska was retired in the top of the 9th to preserve that lead, and that's how the loss goes down. And Louisville's all the runs came in with 2 outs. You go back to that inning where Louisville took the lead. It was a 2-out ground rule double to right field that scored a pair of runs, which gave Louisville the lead. So all with 2 outs. Nebraska just need to find that put-away pitch, make a play on defense, and able to get out of it. But they were able to hit with 2 outs and move runners with 2 outs. So Nebraska suffers a loss to begin the college baseball series in Arlington. This was game 1. Nebraska has a game tonight, 7 o'clock, first pitch on flowcollege.com is the way to watch. Nebraska playing a familiar team, I would say. Nebraska playing Kansas State. They have played a number of times over the years. They have played multiple times in regular season play, regardless of conference, too. Like, they have played in out-of-conference games. They have played in-conference games against this team. They have played the Wildcats a ton. Pulling it up right now because I have the stats here. They have met 294 times on the diamond, with Nebraska holding the 175 to 119 lead in that all-time series with Kansas State. However, kind of a revenge game for Nebraska in a sense. Nebraska played Kansas State 3 times a year ago, and K-State won 2 of those 3 games against the Huskers between the 2 former Big 12 foes. So Kansas State, not a bad baseball team, too. They have some Lincoln guys on their team, guys who played high school baseball in the state of Nebraska. So close by. Big 12, it's still weird seeing Nebraska in the Big 10 for all these years. I know it's been about a decade plus, but so used to seeing them play Kansas State, Missouri, and whatnot. But now you get to see it on the diamond. They will play Kansas State tonight. 7 o'clock first pitch. Carson Yasa will take the hill for the Huskers. He is 1-0 with a 5.40 ERA. He's going to be asked to step up in the rotation. He's going to be the number 2 guy, and it seems like that is who Nebraska is going to lean on Saturdays. It'll be interesting when I'm curious what the rotation will look like when the midweek games start up. I mean, we're going to be getting some of those in the coming weeks for Nebraska. I'm curious to see what the rotation will look like for the Huskers going forward, who they turn to those midweek games, because those midweek games have been in the thorn in the side of Nebraska for recent years, losing to teams like Omaha, South Dakota State, Creighton, teams like that, Kansas from time to time. You'd like to see Nebraska handle business in those Tuesday, Wednesday games and carry momentum into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get a rhythm down. So you're not playing catch up when conference play comes around. You have to put together wins and put yourself in a good position, Omaha. And then when you win, if you do win the Big Ten tournament, which Nebraska has done the past 2 years, put yourself in a good position for postseason play. Because that would be ideal. But as I mentioned, Nebraska ended up on the wrong end of a 4-2 game against Louisville, a ranked team. Nebraska will have K-State tonight, as mentioned, and then they'll play Florida State. Florida State, number 16 in the nation. Gavin Blachowicz, 0-0 with a 1.93 ERA is going for the Huskers. To be determined for the Seminoles between Nebraska and Florida State on Sunday. That game will start at 2:30 Central Time, also at Globe Life Field at Arlington. So, and this is an interesting one because Florida State has been a prominent baseball program for a number of years. And I mean a number of years, like a long time. But Nebraska and Florida State have barely seen one another on the diamond. Sunday's game between Nebraska and Florida State will only be the second all-time meeting between these two programs, which is crazy because you think like maybe they'd run into each other early in the season, kind of like they are this year. Maybe they would have seen each other in regionals in the 2000s or, throughout that time. At one point, you think there's some you're going to run into them because they've been a really good ACC baseball program for not only years, but also decades. The lone time Nebraska and Florida State have played in baseball, it's crazy. Like you think the year, but also the location and the tournament name also like are wild. So they met in 2004. Florida State beat Nebraska 5-3. Solid game. They played in the Dairy Queen Classic in the Metrodome in Minneapolis. Yes, the Metrodome where the Minnesota Twins used to play. In 2004 was the only meeting between Florida State baseball and Nebraska baseball. You'd think, when I read that, I thought, oh, Florida State, Nebraska, they probably have played in the postseason before. They probably have played a regular season series before at some shape or form. No, this is only the second time ever, and that is on Sunday. Should be a good game, too. Florida State, another ranked team for Nebraska. Nebraska has the opportunity to play another quality team, a team that could be hosting a regional, maybe a super regional, depending on how the season goes. You're sitting in the top 16 before the season starts, basically. Top 16 get to host a regional. Top 8 host super regionals. Louisville and Florida State are in line to host super regionals before the season begins. And if all goes well for those two programs, they have a chance to be playing best 2 out of 3 series for a spot for a trip to Omaha coming down the stretch. Both are in the same conference, too, so they'll see one another as well. So quality teams for Nebraska. K-State's always a decent team, too. They've made the regionals a number of times. Been a tough out for Nebraska. Nebraska losing 2 of 3 to them last year. So this weekend, Nick Steinert's down there. If you haven't followed our social media, 93.7 The Ticket, you probably have seen Nick Steinert's been down there since Thursday. Got to see some batting practice at Globe Life Field. He was at the game yesterday between Louisville and Nebraska, and he'll be there all weekend. So follow social media, Nick Steinert as well. Follow his social media. He'll have some good content, some good interviews, some good photos and whatnot. He will be there. There'll be plenty to showcase from Nick Steinert. And safe travels to him back as well. He got out of here at the right time. I will say that. He got lucky that he got out before the snowstorms happened. Because if he would have left Thursday, Thursday afternoon, I don't know if he would have been able to make it down to Texas. So Nebraska baseball, that is their schedule going forward. But if you look at the rest of the schedule, they played that weekend playing UConn, Northeastern, Grand Canyon. 3 solid programs. Lose to Stanford, not a bad loss. Lose to Louisville, not a bad loss. You have K-State and Florida State over the next 2 days. Next weekend, when we're here, we'll talk about their series. They open up against Auburn, a 3-game set, on Friday, February 27th, and runs through Sunday, March 1st. That first game on Friday is at 6 o'clock in Auburn, Alabama. Saturday game is at 2 o'clock, and the Sunday game is at 1 o'clock. So that'll be a fun gauging series to Auburn. SEC baseball, we all know SEC baseball is pretty good. There are some pretty good teams. Teams make it to Omaha all the time. Like Florida, Nebraska's running them in the regionals before with Jack Caglione. Vanderbilt's made it a number of times with guys like Kumar Rocker, JJ Bleday. They had a ton of MLB prospects. Nebraska, LSU, of course. LSU has had a number of really good college baseball teams and memorable teams that have played down the road in the Omaha Metro as well. So Auburn will get that test from February 27th to the 1st of March. And then after that, it's crazy. You got to think. Nebraska opens home opener. We have snow on the ground here. Nebraska's home opener, Tuesday, March 3rd. They play the Omaha Mavericks at Hawks Field at Haymarket Park. 1:30 first pitch. So hopefully the sun's out. Hopefully all the snow's gone by then so you can get an in-state rivalry matchup on the diamond. And then the day after that, 1:30, they'll play South Dakota State. They'll play the Jackrabbits come to town. So that is Husker baseball for the next 48 hours. Kansas State tonight, Florida State tomorrow before they turn their attention to Auburn. We're going to go to a break. When we come back here on the Husker Diamond Report, we'll talk a little bit about Husker softball. They had some notable games yesterday, a run rule win and a no-hitter. It was around the 40th no-hitter in program history. We'll talk a little about that, Nebraska softball, as they are out in Cathedral City, California, when we come back here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Fans, are you craving the ultimate game day experience? Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill has your front row seat to all the action. Dive into delicious wings, juicy burgers, and ice-cold drinks, all served up with TVs covering every inch of the wall, so you'll never miss a play. Rally your crew, cheer on your team, and take advantage of game night specials every week. Stop in for a Nebraska basketball game with a party of 4 or more and receive a free pitcher of beer. Red Zone Sports Bar and Grill, right by the Lincoln Airport at 3111 Northwest 12th Street.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Back
to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, Husker Diamond Report, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Allo Channel 961. Thanks for rocking with me. Obviously, there is a basketball going on just down the road here in Lincoln, Nebraska. A little update on that if you are not watching right now. Nebraska holding a 20-9 lead over Penn State with around 8:45 to go in the first half. So Nebraska went on a little 10-0 run to stretch their lead over the Nittany Lions and hold a double-digit lead already. You'd like to see it after how the Iowa game the other night went down as Nebraska tries to turn the page as they get ready to try to pick up another conference win as the regular season winds down. So Nebraska, again, 8:35 to go, first half. Nebraska 20, Penn State 9. Remind you, we will have post-game coverage on 93.7 The Ticket, as always, after the final buzzer sounds at around 3 o'clock right here at 1040 O Street. So if you have text line, if you have any comments about that, save them for then. We will discuss. Austin Norman will join me, as always, here on Saturday on 93.7 The Ticket. But another team that has not only baseball, has played a challenging schedule, has played some tough teams over the past couple of weeks. Nebraska softball, they kicked it off, or not kicked it off, but they teed it off, I guess, in San Antonio 2 weeks ago. Then went down to Clearwater, beat some notable teams like Texas Tech and LSU. Well, they played another ranked game. Shocker. They have played a lot of ranked games. They played number 13 South Carolina yesterday. And South Carolina came in with an 8-2 record. Nebraska at 6-4, as Nebraska ranked number 8 in some polls, 6 and 10, depending on which poll you look at. But according to this, Nebraska 10, South Carolina 13. Another top 15 matchup at the Mary Nutter Classic in Cathedral City, California. You think a ranked game, both teams ranked in the top 15, should be a very competitive and close game. No, Nebraska run rules the Gamecocks 9-1 in 5 innings. 9-1. Nebraska out-hit South Carolina 13-5. South Carolina had 3 errors, and Nebraska made them pay in a 9-1 win over South Carolina. First 2 innings, no runs for either squad. And what have I said on the show? Since we started doing Husker Baseball Diamond Report, since we started talking on late night in Lincoln, Monday through Thursday, from 11 to midnight, we've talked about Jesse Farrell. Guess who got the scoring started for the Huskers with a 2-run triple? Jesse Farrell, catcher, UNLV transfer, has been a huge addition for Nebraska softball. Triple to right field, scores 2. Jordy Fromm and Lauren Kamazan score. Well, that was not all Nebraska did in that third inning. Ava Kuzak, who hadn't really been getting going on offense to begin the season, hit a 2-run home run to left field. Nebraska pushed their lead to 4-0 over South Carolina. If you'd love to get on the conversation as well, if you're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Allo Channel 961, or comment below, or hit the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line, 402-464-5685. That is 402-464-5685. So 4-0 at that point for Nebraska. Get the Kuzak home run, the Jesse Farrell 2-run triple. South Carolina gets on the board with a home run in the top of the fourth. Okay. Shutout's over. Well, Nebraska makes them pay. Mulbach single. Scores Kuzak. Hoffman single. Error. Samantha Blansk moves over the second base. Another run, and then scores on that error. 6-1 Nebraska in the 5th inning. At this point, Nebraska is 3 runs away from run ruling South Carolina. Well, they did it. Hannah Core, another transfer. Home run to left field. 2-run home run. 2-run shot. Nebraska's second home run of the game as a team. Puts them up 8-1. At the plate, we have the Kamazans on base. Bacon on base. Jesse Farrell, who started the scoring, caps off the single through the right side of the infield. Ball game. Nebraska wins 9-1 over South Carolina to pick up another quality win on the season. Their 7th win of the season, another ranked victory for Nebraska softball. In this game, total of 9 runs, 13 hits, 8 of them off RBIs. Pitching for Nebraska, Jordy Fromm came in for the save with 2 innings, 2 hits, no walks, 3 Ks in 8 batters faced. As you look at Alexis Jensen, who got the start again, Alexis Jensen, freshman from Gretna native, won state titles with the Gretna Dragons. 4-1 now in the season, got the win, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. She is now 4-1 as a freshman, and a lot of these wins are against top-ranked teams. You got a star on your hands, Nebraska. Alexis Jensen has been not only just rising the occasion, she's way above it. If you're above the level of play, I mean, sky's the limit. And you have a complimentary pitcher there for Jordy Fromm. Jordy Fromm's been, I mean, if you get Jordy Fromm to come in and get the final 6 outs, 7, 8, 9 outs of the game, and you got Alexis Jensen holding it down in the circle, Nebraska's going to be a tough out. So Nebraska gets that win over South Carolina to begin tournament play. Not only with that, Nebraska played 2 games. They played yesterday as well. They played South Carolina, and then they matched up with Hawaii to close out the day of Friday, where they played Hawaii, and they run-ruled them again. So Nebraska with 2 run-rule wins, beating Hawaii 13-0. So Nebraska with a 22-1 combined day on the diamond in the Mary Nutter Classic in Cathedral City, California. Well, this game was notable not because of not only the bats were going for Nebraska, but pitching. Hannah Kamens threw the 42nd no-hitter in Nebraska softball history while Nebraska scored 13 runs. Dominant win. So Nebraska was able to jump out early and often. Scored 4 in the second, 4 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and that led to a win. Nebraska had 13 runs on 13 hits, no errors. Hawaii, 0 runs, 0 hits, and 2 errors in the loss. So, I mean, this was all Nebraska. Hannah Kamens got her 2nd win on the year. Let's talk about these pitch numbers. 42nd no-hitter in team history. All 5 innings pitched by her. No hits, as mentioned. No earned runs. Walked 2. Only struck out 2. So it wasn't just her blowing pitches by batters in those 5 innings pitched in this no-hitter. Defense backed her up. Defense played clean, no errors, walked 2, but Nebraska was able to keep that no-hitter intact. And that got her 2nd win in the circle this season. So to get the scoring started, Nebraska scoreless first inning, so Hawaii held their own there for the first inning. Lauren Kamens double up the middle, Hannah Core, Bacon score, and a 3-run double. Nebraska holds a 3-0 lead just like that. Hannah Kamens, who threw the no-hitter, gets a double. Nebraska leads 4-0, just like that against Hawaii. 1 inning, fifth inning. Hannah Kamens wasn't just good at the plate. She was also good on the mound, throwing the no-hitter, but she, in her second at-bat, doubled to left field. Her sister, Lauren Kamens, scores. Nebraska's up 6-0, just like that. Ava Kuzak getting the bat going, triple to left field. Drives in Farrell and Kamens 8-0 Nebraska after 3 innings of play. So not only this is after a game, you got to think they played a game before this against South Carolina. Tough team, beat them 9-1. You're up at 8-0 on Hawaii here, just taking advantage. Nebraska, the long ball again. They didn't hit any home runs yet in this game, up 8-0, but Malia Tomes, Waverly graduate, with a 3-run home run to stretch Nebraska's lead to 11-0, and then Jessie Farrell, hit a home run as well, a 2-run home run. So Nebraska went up 13-0, got the final outs of that one in the 5th, and no hitter. And you have a game with Malia Tomes coming off the bench with a home run. Jessie Farrell continues to swing a hot bat. Ava Kuzak getting going, and Hannah Kamens obviously throwing the no-hitter. So Nebraska was able to win 13-0 over Hawaii, push their record to 8-4 overall in the season. So Hawaii is now 5-7. So Hawaii was probably not one of the better teams in Nebraska has played this year, but it's a win. And they were on the schedule and got it. So, and in this no-hitter, Kamens retired 9 of the last 10 batters. One of those walks came in that span. So, 42nd no-hitter, though. You'd think that's a lot of no-hitters. This was Nebraska's last no-hitter was thrown by Jordy Fromm, which was back February 15th of 2025. So last year, about a year ago, was the last no-hitter for Nebraska softball. Yeah, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, if you look at it. So big win, Nebraska, 8-4, continue to rattle off wins. Make history. I mean, Kamazan threw the no-hitter. Lauren Kamazan tied her career high in 3 RBIs and 2 runs in that game. 13 runs was the season high so far. Malia Tomes came off the bench, hit a 3-run homer. Everything rolling for Nebraska there. The offense is rolling there. They've now scored 4+ runs in 11 innings this season. Team is just continuing to find ways to produce at the plate. I know a couple games like Tennessee, they only mustered 1 hit. Fell short in the end against Georgia by a score of 6-5, but got back in the win column. So Nebraska has now won 4 consecutive games dating back to the Clearwater, Florida tournament, the Shriners Children's Invitational. Nebraska winning 6-0 over Central Florida, 3-2 over number 1 Texas Tech at the time, a 9-1 victory yesterday over South Carolina, and then a 13-0 win over Hawaii. 2 5-inning games. That's the first time Nebraska's run ruled a team this year as well. So couldn't have started any better at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic in Cathedral City, California. But that's not it. Nebraska softball has another competitive game tonight. Nebraska playing a ranked team once again. Who would have thought? You think, I feel like I'm slamming the table here. Ranked team. They play a ranked team almost every week, it feels like. Nebraska will play number 11, Texas A&M at 7 o'clock tonight at the Field of Dreams complex in Cathedral City. You get old Big 12 rivalry, A&M now in the SEC, number 11 in the nation, a really good program. Get a really good game, number 10 versus number 11 under the lights. So not only is baseball playing today, not only is basketball in action today, not only is wrestling at 8 o'clock tonight against Utah Valley, you got softball tonight too. There's so much going on across Big Red Invite Bowling down at Hollywood Bowl. Awesome time. So if it depends what you like. If you like it all, watch it all. If you only like softball, watch the softball, but you also got other choices on the back burner. So when we come back, we're going to look at Nebraska softball's week ahead as they have a couple more games. Not only the A&M game, we'll dive a little bit more into that one, but they also have 2 more games on Sunday morning. And then they play a nice little stretch in Oklahoma before they return home. Like I said, snow's on the ground, but in a matter of days, Nebraska softball and baseball will be in action at Bowling Stadium and Hawks Field at Haymarket Park within due time. And before we get a break, Nebraska basketball again, they are almost to the end of the first half. Nebraska holding a 26-15 lead, still about an 11-point advantage with about 3.5 to go in the first half. 26-15, Huskers leading. So when we come back, we'll talk about Husker softball, wrap up the season, the series this weekend, and then dive in to Chopping It with Chubbs at the top of the hour before Husker basketball postgame takes over the airwaves at around 3 o'clock. So you're listening to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the plan. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging. A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. 94.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com. Husker Diamond Report. Nick Whyman here. Tristan Gomes out and about. I've been rocking with you since probably about 9 o'clock this morning. You probably heard my voice over the airwaves in some shape or form, but roads are getting nice. People out and about, not tucked away because of the snow. But before we go to one more segment left in the show, Nebraska basketball holding a 33-16 lead, a commanding lead with under 2 minutes to go in the first half over at Pinnacle Bank Arena down the road. So a nice little lead against a team that is currently in the bunker of the Big Ten Conference. So Nebraska be able to jump out to a lead and grab momentum. Looks like a nice little crowd there as well. With Nebraska leading 33-17, 1:54 to go in the first half. So before we went to break, we talked about Nebraska baseball and their schedule ahead. They got K-State tonight at 7 o'clock. You have Nebraska softball, who has played a tough team. They have played some tough teams left and right. Continue to play tough teams. They play Texas A&M tonight. Texas A&M is a solid program, number 11 in the nation, right behind Nebraska at number 10. They are 9-4 on the season. You look at their schedule. They started out the home classic. They beat Abilene Christian, Utah State, Providence, And they did get a matchup with Texas Tech. They played number 1 Texas Tech, fell 3-2 to them back on February 7th, and then bounced back with a win over Providence. But Nebraska and Texas A&M have seen one another. They have played they both were at the Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational in Clearwater, Florida. But they did not play one another. Nebraska obviously played LSU, Central Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and whatnot. So let's give a little rundown of A&M before a little scouting report. A&M played Oklahoma State in that. Nebraska did play Oklahoma State as well. Yet they play them in a couple weeks down in Tulsa. 8-9 loss to Oklahoma State from the Aggies. They also played Duke, who is ranked in the top 20, lost them 6-8. Then beat NC State 10-2, beat James Madison in 5 innings, and then they beat Northwestern 6-5. So far, down in California, for the Aggies, they lost to number 14 Oregon, another Big Ten team, 2-1 on Thursday, and then they played Duke. Once again, they ran the Duke twice in a matter of tournaments. That is, what are the odds of that happening? It's over 200 plus teams in college softball, maybe 300 if you're adding all the mid majors. Beat Duke 11-5, and then they beat University of California, San Diego on Friday, 5-2, and now they have Nebraska. They have some quality wins. They're a pretty solid team. They played some tough teams too. Like they're almost like Nebraska. They're 9-4. The teams they have lost to are ranked teams. Some in the top 25, nearing the top 25. Some of them near the top 15. They are a tough squad. So Nebraska will be duking it out with a really good opponent. But Nebraska, if they have pitchers like Jordy Fromm, Alexis Jensen, 1-2 combo, 1-2 punch, Nebraska is going to be a tough out for a lot of teams in college softball. It's just how it is. But they can stay healthy, log a lot of innings, and play like that. Going to be a tough out. Nebraska baseball as well. Nebraska baseball, Ty Horn, if he can be what he was, capture what he captured in the Big Ten tournament last year, going to be a tough Friday starter. It's going to be a lot of really fun Friday night games if he's the guy grabbing the ball on Friday night. So A&M, Nebraska softball will cap off the tournament in California. Tomorrow, they will play early 11 a.m. Central Time against Seattle. And then at 1:30 after that one, they will play Cal. They'll play 2 Pacific Western teams out there. After that, they will be closer to home. They'll make the trip back to the Midwest and play in Stillwater and Tulsa over the next week. They'll play Thursday, February 26th against Oklahoma State. And then they'll play neutral site against South Dakota State Friday, February 27th in Tulsa. And they'll play Tulsa as well that week at Tulsa's campus. And then they'll close out that Oklahoma trip Saturday and Sunday against Oklahoma State. And then after that, Nebraska softball's at home. Like again, you look outside, it is snow on the ground. It is snowpacked. It is cold. However, Nebraska softball, Nebraska baseball will be here in the first week of March. State basketball will be going on too. It sneaks up. It comes really quick. State basketball for high school will be here. Boys and girls tournament the first 2 weeks of March. You'll have softball, college softball, back here. Bowling Stadium will be packed with Husker fans. Hawks Field, Hamburger Park, packed with Husker fans. Not only touching on these 2 subjects on the diamond, you also have Big Ten wrestling, bowling season going on, basketball. March is here. It's a crazy time of year. And we'll have plenty of it here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Before we get out of here, Nebraska, mark your calendars again. I'll plug those home games that are coming up. Tickets are probably available. If not, they'll come off. Nebraska fans are going to eat it up. Nebraska baseball, the Big Red Spring Classic at Bowling. They will play. There'll be plenty of games. They have other games they will play. South Dakota State on March 5th at 4 o'clock. And then also play them at 6 o'clock. They'll play a doubleheader against the Jackrabbits. And then March 7th and 8th, they will play Omaha at 2 o'clock on both that Saturday and that Sunday at Bowling State. Nebraska baseball, same thing. They will play that weekend. It'll be a packed weekend. It'll be a really fun time. So they will play Tuesday against Omaha, 1:30 Eastern for baseball at Hawks Field, the home opener for Nebraska baseball as they come back from Auburn. And else, then you look down the schedule, they will play South Dakota State. South Dakota State, they'll play them on Wednesday, March 4th. So a lot of South Dakota State fans will probably be in town if you're a South Dakota Jackrabbit from baseball or the softball program. There'll be a lot of stuff going on. Those are 2 of them. And then Nebraska, March 6th, 7th, and 8th, they will play their first Big Ten conference opponents. They will play Michigan State, 2 o'clock Friday, March 6th, 1 o'clock Saturday, March 7th, and noon on Sunday, March 8th. That's crazy. The conference baseball, the first Big Ten opponent outside of, it's like softball. You think softball, they already played a didn't count against their record for Big Ten play. So that is March. March will be here before we know it. And it's a wild time. And it sneaks up. I mean, next week, Tristan will be here. We'll be recapping the final weekend for Nebraska baseball and softball road trips before they're back home. And we just started this whole rodeo. Wild, we're already there. So that is all I have for you today. Husker Diamond Report, Nebraska basketball all up at halftime. Like I said, Bryce Stanford already has, did I read that right? He already has 20 points? 20 points? And so is Penn State. Man, he's making up for those points, those 3-pointers didn't make at Iowa, but 38-20 at the half. So heck of a game. We'll have post-game coverage. We are almost done here for today on the ticket. We have a 2 o'clock. We'll have Chopping Up with Chubbs. He's sitting around coming in here in a little bit from 2 to 3. And then 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we'll have post-game coverage of Nebraska basketball as they are up big on Penn State. So we'll be right back. 94.7 ticket. Stick with us here as we go to break, and we'll be back with Chopping Up with Chubbs.